Hey team, so today we're going to talk about Bppv. This is benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, and this happens to a lot of individuals that will have rocks in their ears. So rocks in their ears combined with spinning or a sensation of spinning symptoms, also known as vertigo. So let's just touch base real quick, and I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to go over kind of what Bppv is and why do we even have it. So Bppv is the short acronym because it's kind of lengthy to go benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. So if we look at benign, meaning that it's not going to kill you, it's not going to progress to any further disease. Paroxysmal, meaning that it's temporary, that it doesn't stay forever, and it has a sudden onset, so it rapidly comes on. Positional, meaning that it changes with body position, and vertigo is that false sense of spinning. So individuals with Bppv, hairdressers, dentists will see this quite a bit. Anybody that lies down at night when they go to sleep, anything that makes their head go from a vertical position to a horizontal position will lead to about after 30 seconds of laying there, all of a sudden they'll just feel like, whoa, the whole room is spinning. Oh, it's just gonna keep going. Oh man, this is horrible. And then it starts to slow down and stops after about 2 minutes. So a lot of people do not get treatment for this because it's benign. It doesn't kill them. It's just a nuisance. And after about 2 minutes, it goes away. But there is an easy solution on how to fix this, which another video I'll get into. But please know that benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, Bppv, is treatable and is something that we can help people with. So let's move forward. If we look at why this occurs, if we look at here's the ear, sound comes into the ear, we have two purposes of this inner ear. One is to hear, like you're doing now, and the other is to sense movement. So acceleration, change of movement, rotational forces, this all is interpreted right here in these semicircular canals of the inner ear. So what does that look like? So you have these semicircular canals. This here is used for hearing. So when the hearing comes in, again, it hits that tympanic membrane. It vibrates these ossicle bones that comes all the way down and hits the part of the ear that allows that sound to be transmitted down the cochlea. So this is where we get hearing. But that's not what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is this part up here, those semicircular canals. So the semicircular canals are all filled with fluid, and inside the fluid, inside these semicircular canals, you have these areas in here where your body will sense a change of direction. But how does it get there? You have little hair cells that are connected to the nerve of the ear. So the vestibular nerve, these hair cells, when depressed, will tell the body when we're changing direction, we're accelerating, decelerating, when the head's spinning, when we're tipping over. It senses this based on the depression of the hair cell. But what makes the hair cell depress? Well, up on top, you have these little rocks. So these little crystals, these little otoliths that sit up on top that kind of weight the nerve, weight those hair cells. So as the fluid pushes the hair cells from movement, it depresses them, and that whichever ones are being depressed tells the head this is where we're turning. How much it depresses tells you how fast. So those otoliths are the key. The thing to note, though, the reason that we get Bppv is that those otoliths, those little particles that pop off, they can fall off those hair cells. And when they fall off the hair cells, they usually get reabsorbed in this area. But if you've had a major trauma, you had a car accident, you had you hit your head, you fell to the ground, you it fell off a horse, any type of major trauma to the head is going to knock a whole bunch of those crystals right off the hair cells right away. And then sometimes they don't be absorbed. And the reason they get absorbed is because once you hit your head, usually people tell you, well, let's go home and rest. Let's go lay down. And when you lay down, all those crystals haven't been absorbed yet. And as you tilt the head backwards, they fall back into the semicircular canal. And when they fall back there, they can't be absorbed. And since they can't be absorbed, they sit back in here when we're lying down. And what happens is when we go to stand up, they all start falling at once, and they act like a piston where it takes all the fluid that's behind it when it starts to fall, and it forms one big mass and pushes all that fluid back into the area where those hair cells are. When that occurs, it creates turbulence. When it creates turbulence, your body can't interpret if it's going up, down, left, right, or where it's going. So when it can't tell you where it's going, it comes out as spinning. So your body feels like it's spinning. But why does it stop after about 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes? Because eventually those crystals that have made a piston, as they're falling in one large mass, they eventually stop. They stop moving and they settle. And when they settle, it stops pushing the fluid to the hair cells, and it stops the turbulence. And then it calms down until you sit back up. And then you sit back up and it happens again. And after about 2 minutes, it stops. So for some, it's just an annoyance. It's, hey, it happens every time I lay down or tip my head back, and you start avoiding these areas. And then you think that there's nothing anybody can do for it. It's not going to kill me. But again, there is a simple procedure that we do that takes one day, just, a half hour, to go through and put those crystals back where they belong, back in this area. And by doing that, it corrects the problem. So again, team, Bppv in a nutshell, there it is. That's a quick and easy version of rocks in your ears, crystals in your ears, and a kind of a simple explanation of how we can correct it as well. All right, team, thanks for watching today, and I hope this helps your mindset on where rocks in your ears or Bppv, on how we can help in your life. Thanks for watching.